Front desk is often the first contact that a person make with Dubiski. So it is essential to give a great first impression.
How would you describe your relationship with students?
My relationship with my students is pretty good. I base it on having common interests with them. A lot of the things that I do with them have to do with either the AP test that's coming up or the stuff that they need to do for business English.
Well, there are two different ways I could answer that. One is the standard school, I'm here to facilitate things. But really and honestly, my kids are my kids. And once somebody enters my classroom, then they are my student for life. And I have students that I've kept up with for insanely long amounts of time. But whether somebody is in my room for a day or for the whole year, then you are my kids.
My first responsibility to students as an educator is to make sure that they get the content, but I think the big thing behind that is building that relationship and most importantly them knowing that I care.
How do you motivate your students?
I motivate my students by building relationships with them and creating a classroom culture where they can feel safe to take academic risks and where everyone has the opportunity to be successful.
I motivate my students basically by getting them to motivate themselves, because I think when you enter high school, that's where your life is going to change.
Before coming to Dubiski, I wasn't as responsible as I am now. I've learned to stay on top of my work. The teachers have really helped.
Last year, I was the only girl in my auto collision pathway, and I had trouble working around with the guys, and he gave me the confidence that I needed to believe in myself to finish working on cars.
What were your first impressions of Dubiski students?
My first impression of Dubiski students was that they're super intelligent, and they're the kind of kids that in a traditional high school might kind of melt into the walls, if you will. But being that they were all brought into one location, I saw the personalities flourish.
I think Dubiski stands out from other schools because we do our best to build rapport with the students on a personal level. I know that with my class not being a core class, I try to keep things interesting, a little more fun.
I am Larry Jones, the principal at Dubiski Career High School. So I want to be a role model for Dubiski students. I try to be a role model with the staff so that they treat students the way that we've set up on our side. So we set our social contract, and I expect our teachers to have social contracts with their students. And it's all about creating that mutual respect. You know, I want it to be fun because it's still high school. The one thing that we hear over and over through CKH is you have to capture the heart before you can change a student's the way they think. And so we always work with building those relationships, whether it is, you know, just being out in the atrium in the mornings, visiting with students, shaking hands when you see them at lunch, talking to students, making sure you understand what's going on with their lives and that you're able to support them in everything that they do inside and outside of school. I wouldn't change anything about Dubiski. This is a great place to be.